Welcome all to another episode of your favorite podcast. Targo, how the hell are you, buddy?
Doing pretty good, man. Champions League review.
Yeah, man. Quarterfinal first leg this week. I guess we'll go over what we're talking about too then, because that's like most of it.
It is most of it.
Yeah, Champions League review, preview of games April 13th through the 16th, and a quick review of the Europa League Quarterfinals, which are happening today. As well as, drum roll please, the best player not to play for the Big Six.
And who are the Big Six teams, just to remind everyone?
They are Manchester City, Arsenal, not in any particular order, by the way. Manchester United, apparently Tottenham, Chelsea, apparently, and Liverpool. Those are your six.
Okay, so the best player not on those six teams. Got it.
Yep. I know. We talked about Newcastle should probably be one of the Big Six and maybe not, say, a Tottenham or a Chelsea because of where they're at on the table. But
historically, when people talk Big Six, it's those six clubs. Yep.
Exactly. So, Targo, how are you going to be digesting this episode?
I'm going to be digesting it with a beer. Imagine that.
Weird. What a concept.
I got a beer from Trapdoor Brewing. It's called Porch Beer. It's a West Coast Pale Ale.
Well, let's
pint.
see if there are some porch days with those beers in our future.
We'll see. We'll give it a try.
Adequately named.
I don't think you'll like it. Pretty hoppy.
Well, I'm unsure about my beer too, so who knows? I got Botswain Hoppy IPA.
What's
If
it called?
You can't tell lately. I've been shopping in the section of the store that I don't go to.
What's that one called?
Botswain.
You mean boat?
It's weird. Boatswain. You're right. I can't read either. Trying to read it in the camera. It's not working. Hazy IPA. Yeah. I've never had it before. Bought a bunch. So.
Well, you like it then, huh?
I didn't like the last one. It was awful.
Well, let's see how this one goes with the Boatswain.
Well, it's better than the previous one. It's a little fruity for an IPA, especially a hoppy one.
Hazy IPAs usually are.
Yeah. It's not bad. I wouldn't probably buy it again, but I will enjoy drinking it during this episode.
All right.
It won't be gone in the first 5 minutes like last time.
Yeah, I remember watching it. You were just chugging that thing.
Right. It was bad. So those are our brews. Let's get to some banter. Welcome to Brews and Banter. Make sure to check out our Facebook page, Facebook group. Get in on the discussions happening there. Our Instagram, our TikToks, our YouTube channel, where you get to see us and our reactions to these lovely beers. Sometimes not. And then check out our Redbubble, where we have stickers like these. Tyler's personal favorite.
That one is my personal favorite.
And the OG.
The logo.
I enjoy them thoroughly. I can't wait to find a spot on my water bottle to put these in my laptop. I have to remove some stickers first. So, sacrifice. All right. Yeah. Let's get into the Champions League review.
Oh, let's get into it, man.
11th. We're going to start with Benfica against Inter. This one ending 2-0 to Inter Milan. What a huge win for them. I know we both picked Benfica.
Yeah. Huge win, man. In Lisbon, too.
Yeah.
That's the crazy part. And yet, you know what's funny is your boy Lukaku didn't start.
Surprise, surprise. What happened? They won. What?
Instead, they went with, 36-year-old Edin Dzeko, man. He's up there. I didn't think he was that old, but whew.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an ageless wonder. Still scoring goals. Not in this game, but occasionally in this area when he does play.
So, yeah, it was an interesting game. Both teams, I feel like, gave the ball away quite a bit in that midfield. And, man, I think against a better team, or Man City or Real Madrid, they could get punished giving the ball away so much.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, these teams both looked very nervous in this game. Like, it was a big game, and they were starting to feel it.
Especially Benfica, I feel
Yeah.
like.
Yeah,
But man, Nicolo Barella, he got the first goal, man, and I really like him. I think he's a fantastic midfielder.
100%.
The balls he was playing, man, some of those crossfield balls, just putting them on a dime for players. It was lovely to see. But he got the first goal off a beautiful cross from Bastoni, the center back, to the back post.
Not every day you see a center back taking a corner.
Well, it wasn't a corner. It was a cross.
Cross. Well, even hitting a cross for that.
He put in a few crosses, man, that were on the money. And for that goal, Inter just kind of overloaded that back post. They had 2-3 players back there, and Barella was the one that got onto it.
Yeah.
And then, Romelu
Lukaku doubled the lead from the spot after a long VAR decision that went against João Mario when he was judged to have handled the ball. Was it a good call?
By the rules of UEFA, they're going to call it. Whether that means it's a good call or not, it's a little harsh. He goes up for a cross and the ball kind of hits off his head and then onto his hand, but his arm was way out there, not in a natural position. So I think that's what really does him in. Yeah,
rule of the law, man. I know that rules are different in Champions League games versus Premier League games, but it's still the rule of law strikes again. Unlucky
but your
for
boy
João
Lukaku,
Mario.
Man, steps up to take the PK, scores it.
Yeah, that seems to be some of the only goals he can score this season.
Oh, that's not true. He scored a goal. What was it? A couple weeks ago.
He scored quite a few. Yeah.
So it's good to see him get on the score sheet, but it's only Inter's second away win in the Champions League this season. And it's her first win in all competitions since March 5th, over a month ago.
Wow.
They have been struggling in Serie A, not playing so hot there.
Yeah, and Benfica losing this game for their second in 2 matches, which is, I think, their third overall this entire season.
Yeah, they lost to Porto on the weekend, 2-1.
Big match. Someone dropped the ball in covering that.
One of us.
All right. Let's get to the big game that pretty much everybody watched.
So hold on before we move on. Do you think Benfica can come back from this?
They can.
2-0 defeat and score 3 goals at the San Siro?
They can. But after watching how rocking it was for AC Milan, I don't think they will.
Oh, yeah, the stadium.
In a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. Manchester City, Bayern Munich. This one, for the scoreline, was a much better game than what it shows. Manchester City winning 3-0. Huge win for them. You called it. Give credit where credit's due. I thought it would be a draw for probably the first half, except for Rodri's wonder strike. It looked like it was going to be.
Honestly, Inter played well in that first half. It took a wonder strike to beat them. And, Sommer came up with some fantastic saves. There was one save from, I think it was Gundogan.
Yeah.
He collided with somebody. It should have been a foul, I think, for the goalie. But then he's on the ground, and I think Gundogan takes a shot, and he sticks a leg out, blocks the ball. It was fantastic, man.
Yeah, Ruben Diaz also had a fantastic game.
Oh, yeah. And
I will say.
So did John Stones. De Bruyne didn't look terrible. I feel like Bernardo Silva had a really good game. Yeah.
So, as said before, Rodri put City ahead on the 28th minute with a wonder strike from somewhere between 30 and 25 yards.
Oh, dude, he was from the deep.
From the deep. Beautiful bent shot, curler, whatever you want to call it. But it ended up where the spiders lay their eggs.
With his left, too, man.
Yeah.
You could almost see his process of him looking around for a pass, and he's like, well, I guess I'll take a shot.
Mm-hmm. And, I mean, credit to him. It was a beautiful one. His first ever goal in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Shocker. I did not know that. Did not know that. City made it 2-0 on the 70th minute with a terrible sequence of events for Bayern Munich. Gave the ball away.
More of like for
Their own
Upamecano.
third. Yeah. Holland put in a beautiful cross, and Bernardo Silva headed it in.
Yeah, but it starts with Upamecano, man. He gets caught on the ball. I mean, or Man City were just going all after him, putting the pressure on him. He was just making mistake after mistake, and they got punished for this one. Jack Grealish catches him on the ball, gives it to Holland. Holland puts in a floater there to Bernardo Silva, who heads it home.
Yeah. Speaking of Jack Grealish, he also had a fantastic game.
Yep. Yes, he did.
Especially defensively. There were a couple of times when Bayern were countering, and Grealish ran all the way back to be the first player on defense.
Him and Bernardo Silva, man, they can run back and play that defense. I think that's why Bernardo Silva started over Riyad Mahrez, if I'm being honest, for that tracking back.
Mean, Mahrez is not known for his defensive play. So credit to Pep. His tinkering with the lineup definitely paid off.
He didn't do too much tinkering. I think it's a good thing. No leaving out Rodri like a certain Champions League final they lost.
Yeah. And then the inevitable happened to make it 3-0. Erling Haaland scored on the 75th minute, put the tie beyond doubt, getting his first win against Bayern Munich and 45 goals in all competitions, which is a record for any Premier League player to ever play in the Premier League.
Guy has an assist and a goal in that game. What can you say, man?
Yeah, it's fantastic. City were clinical. Ruben Diaz was my player of the match. Could have gone with pretty much anyone in that starting 11, though. They're looking like a juggernaut, and it's scary.
They do look scary, man. I mean, it was, like I said, the first half was a close game. It took that Rodri wonder goal. And then the second half, once they got that second goal, the heads on Bayern players, man, they just went down. And it was all Man City.
Yeah. So let's talk about Bayern for a moment. I mean, a lot of individual mistakes, especially in defense. I mean, City could have had 4, 5, 6 in this one just off of defensive mistakes alone.
Yeah, and then Bayern also did not create a lot going forward. A lot of their shots were Leroy Sané from 20 yards out, 30 yards out, and they didn't create any chances up close, real good chances, I would say. Maybe one or two in the first half, but in the second half, it was all Man City.
Yeah, I think Serge Gnabry was playing defense more than he was playing offense, and he was
supposed to be their forward, man.
Yeah. Again, you said it. They played beautifully in the first half, but second half, completely different story.
Yeah, I think Tuchel said they played well for 70 minutes, but I guess he didn't know football's a 90-minute game. You got to play good for 90 minutes.
Yeah. And just to make things worse, apparently there was a bust-up in Bayern's locker room after the game. The person I wouldn't have guessed to punch anyone in the face on that team, Sadio Mane, punching Leroy Sané before they were separated in the locker room. Does it kind of sum up the day for Bayern Munich?
Yeah, I mean, that is surprising. Sadio Mane of all players, and I've seen different reports. Was it a punch, a slap, whatever it was? It left Sané bleeding on his lip. So I'm curious to see what this punishment is going to be for Sadio Mane, man.
Yeah.
This again, the guy you least expect it from. He's done so much good in his home country, and he's frustrated. He's out of form. He's not starting. So apparently it all bubbled up.
Yeah. Maybe he should take a ride with João Cancelo, who you didn't hear a word from, who doesn't start, and he's on loan. Not a permanent player there. Moving on. On the 12th, we had AC Milan against Napoli with one of the coolest tifos I've ever seen in that stadium at the beginning of it. What scenes that was. It was rocking in the San Siro, and they won 1-0.
They did. Second time they beat Napoli here in the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
Spanked them 4-0 in Naples, and then they get a 1-0 win here in the San Siro in Milan.
Yeah, I will say Napoli definitely look like they rely heavily, and I mean heavily, on Victor Osimhen, who was ruled out for this game, and he was sorely missed.
He was. He should be back hopefully for the next second leg.
Hopefully.
Next game, but Yeah, I mean, Kvaratskhelia was frustrating to watch. It looked like he would try to take on a player and his crosses would get blocked, or someone would come flying in with a tackle from behind and get the ball, and it was a bit of a feisty game, that's for sure. And there weren't a whole lot of clear-cut chances. I'm gonna butcher his name, that AC Milan goalkeeper, Magnan or something like that.
Mike. I think it's Mike Mannion. I'm not sure though.
Something like that. He made a couple
go with
good
that.
saves.
It's the easiest pronunciation. So,
but the goal. Let's talk about the goal, man. It was a counterattack that they caught Napoli on. Brahim Diaz, man, he was a stud for that goal. He had a beautiful turn, effectively taking out 3 Napoli players for them to get on a counter on a 4-on-3. They got a little bit of luck, had a little bit of a lucky bounce. But then Ismail Benacer, man, with a rocket.
No stopping that one.
Just blasted it, kind of bounces off the goalie's leg, goes into the net. And that was the lone goal.
Yeah, and that was it. I mean, stoppage time, Simon Char, he hit the crossbar.
In the first half, man, he rocked the crossbar off with a header. And then Andre Frank Zambo and Gisa, man, what was he doing?
I don't know. His 2 yellow cards in a short span of time, sent off. Probably rightfully so, I would say. Oh
yeah, there were 2 yellow card tackles for sure. And then the other bad news for Napoli is the defender, Kim May-jin.
Sure.
I think that's it. He picked up another yellow card, so he's going to miss the second leg.
It's not good news. The only good news that they could get now is Osimhen being back. But a short amount of time, short turnaround, we'll see. Next up, the big one, or so we thought. Real Madrid against Chelsea. Todd Bowley picked Chelsea to win 3-0. We both picked Real Madrid. See who the smart one is there. João Felix had a very good chance, essentially on a breakaway. The first few minutes, closed down very well by the defender. I believe it was Antonio Rudiger, if I'm not mistaken.
It was Eder Militao.
Oh,
Rudiger came on as a sub.
Other center back. Great defending by him to get back. But Real Madrid get on the score sheet on the 21st minute by nobody else but Karim Benzema, making it 18-20 this season. He's got 14 goals in his last 9 Champions League knockout games. Beautiful ball by Danny Carvajal to Vinny Jr., who I don't know if he was tapping it across to him, but Kepa got a hand on it.
Well, it was a shot, and then
Kepa got a hand on it.
Save. He barely got a hand to it, and it fell right there to Benzema for the easiest goal he'll ever score.
I'm sure he'll get quite a few more of those.
Well, it helps when you have Vinny Jr. on that left side, man, just tearing defenders up.
Oh, God. Man, I feel bad. We can, put to rest Alexander Arnold and Reece James for the last 2 performances they've had against Vinny Jr. because he has put them to shame.
Honestly, for me, after watching this game, I'll say it, man. Vinny Jr. is the best left winger in the world. I'll say it.
Yeah.
I think he is.
Yeah, it's hard to argue that. It really is. What do you guys think? Let us know. Next up, we had Ben Chilwell getting sent off in the 59th minute. Straight red. Brought down Rodrigo. Last man back.
Yeah, kind of pulled on his arm jersey.
Yeah.
Honestly, I blame Cucurella for that one, man. Rodrigo makes a run in towards the ball. Cucurella follows him, and then Rodrigo spins and starts sprinting, and Cucurella was just too slow. And the ball went over the top, and Ben Chilwell was then left struggling trying to cover. It's like either give yourself some room on a player who's faster than you, or make sure you either get the ball or you take out the player.
Yeah, one of the two, and Chilwell paid the price. Then Marco Asensio came on in the 71st minute. 3 minutes later, doubles Real Madrid's lead. Man on fire. He's got the most goals as a sub in the Champions League. Real Madrid, clear cut, best team in this game. Vinny Jr., best player on the pitch.
Yep, guess who assisted that goal?
Yeah, Vinny Jr. And, Real Madrid on fire right now, making easy work of Chelsea. Chelsea haven't scored in 4 games. I mean, is there anything else to say?
Chelsea, yeah, they didn't register Aubameyang for the Champions League. They're really only out-and-out striker. So they're relying on Sterling, João Felix, and they're just not getting it done, man. They cannot score a goal.
I think the only real good thing they have going for him is N'Golo Kante's back, but he's
Thiago
played 4
Silva
games.
as well.
4 games this season, had 4 head coaches.
And, you know, I'll give Chelsea a little bit of credit. They had some chances. You know, they got shots away, but they ended up either getting saved or getting blocked last-ditch tackles from defenders. I know Rudiger had a really great last-ditch tackle on Mason Mount. But they're like right there, but they just can't quite get it over the line.
Yeah, they have no confidence going forward whatsoever.
And then you can tell this is the competition Real Madrid care about. I think they've kind of said, forget La Liga. We'll focus on the Champions League.
Copa del Rey, Champions League, that's 2 trophies. That's all they care about.
But let me ask you something. If Real Madrid get dumped out here in this stage, miraculously by Chelsea, you think Ancelotti should go?
No.
I mean, they're not going to win La Liga, no Champions League. At this point, I would just say send him to Brazil for that national team job.
I think right now he's probably leaning that way. I know he came out and said that he flat out doesn't want to coach Chelsea. And he feels bad for Frank Lampard. But yeah, I don't see why you would fire him. I mean, who's better out there you could pick up? You know, bring Zidane back? No, probably not. I don't think he wants to. He doesn't care enough. I say keep Ancelotti.
That's the Real Madrid way, though. You know, they go through managers pretty quick.
It is. And there's been rumors about them wanting to go after Mikel Arteta if Arsenal win the league. I don't know.
I don't know if Mikel would go for that.
I don't think so. I think he's got a project, and his love for Arsenal is way up there. I think the only team that could possibly get him would be Barcelona just because of his roots there.
Graham Potter to Real Madrid.
Yeah. Start it now. Man, would that be a sight.
Oh.
All right, moving on. Europa League Quarterfinals.
Wait, before we move on, I want to ask you, so can Chelsea come back from 2-0 down?
No.
Can Napoli come back from 1-0 down?
Yes.
I think that's going to be a good one. Napoli can definitely bounce back from that one.
I think if Victor Osimhen doesn't play, no.
Okay. And Bayern Munich, are they pretty much done and dusted, or do they have is there a miracle in this Champions League so far?
It's happened before for them. They can do it. I just think Manchester City is too good right now.
Oh, dude, they're too good.
They're too good.
All right, now we can go to Europa.
Okay, Europa League quarterfinals, first leg. They are today in a matter of hours. Today is the 13th. First up, we got Feyenoord against AS Roma. I pick Feyenoord. You pick Roma. How do you see the first leg going?
I feel like the first leg could be a draw.
Okay.
Could be pretty tight. But, you know, the Romans in Rome, man. I'm going for them.
Yeah, in Rome.
In Italy, yeah.
The way Feyenoord played against Shakhtar away from home was suspect, but at home they destroyed Shakhtar.
They're also on fire in the Eredivisie.
Yeah. I think Feyenoord win this one, but again, when in Rome, it's going to ultimately come down to
you got a Jose Mourinho defense to go up against.
Yeah. Especially if Roma get a
goal
away with a 1-0 win.
They will defend.
Yeah, they will defend until their legs fall off.
There'll be 10 defenders and 1 forward out there.
Yep. Next up, Bayer Leverkusen against Union Saint-Gilloise. You picked Leverkusen. I picked USG.
I think I'm feeling pretty good about this one, the way Bayer Leverkusen have been playing.
Bayer Leverkusen have been playing, man. Ugh. Yeah, this will be a tough one for USG in this one.
Bayer Leverkusen, they're flying in Bundesliga.
Yeah.
So I saw something in October when Xabi Alonso took over. They were in 17th.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're in 6th.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Yeah, he got them purring. So, am I feeling confident about my pick still? No. but
I
I'm going
am.
to stick to my guns.
Yeah, well, you got to, man. You got to.
I got to. Not turn it around. The only one I'm going to turn around my prediction would be Manchester City against Bayern Munich. They're up 3-0. So
Jumping ship on that one, huh?
that's it. Yeah. Next up, probably my favorite tie of the round. This one will be very entertaining. Juventus against Sporting Lisbon. You picked Juve. I picked Sporting. Juve's on hot form right now.
Hot form-ish. They lost their last game.
Sporting's kind of all over the place in the league. I'm going to stick with Sporting. I still feel confident. If they play the way they did against Arsenal, I think they beat Juve.
I'll still stick by Juve. They're still a good team. I will say I'm critical of them. They played Lazio last weekend, and I told you they would lose to Lazio. Sure enough, they did, but I'll stick by them with Sporting. I think they can get a result against them. And that fairy tale,
Sporting's different than playing against Sarri ball. Let me tell you. Next
I still
up,
think Juve, man. They won't make it into the Champions League spot. They'll fall just short after that 15-point deduction, and they're going to win this Europa League.
With the way everyone's playing around that top four, I think they could sneak in there, man.
Oh, they definitely could. Don't get me wrong, but I'm going to say they're not going to.
Okay. Next up, Manchester United against Sevilla. Both teams in kind of wish-washy form. Manchester United looking tired of late in the Premier League. We both said United, I believe.
Yeah. Did you hear something Ten Hag said about all the games they're playing? And literally, their games are 7 days apart.
Yeah, I know.
He's complaining about the time between games, and they literally have a week. That guy's just thinking of every excuse he can.
Yeah.
Oh, all of our players are hurt. Oh, the amount of games. This is what all teams have to deal with.
Yeah.
Your belly aching.
It's what happens towards the end of the season, especially with the World Cup. Every team's had to do it.
I think, honestly, it's up to him. Rest your players.
Oh.
Imagine that.
Weird. I think this one probably is quite a fine margin for Manchester United, the way Sevilla's played away from home.
Especially with Marcus Rashford being injured potentially.
Yeah. Yeah, so probably 1-0, maybe a 2-1 if they're lucky. I don't see United scoring many goals without Rashford if he doesn't play.
Yeah, I agree with you there. He's been their main guy.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I mean, he scored like 3/4 of their goals this calendar year. It's insane.
I did see something. Did you see Erling Haaland has more goals than Chelsea?
Yeah, I did. Mm-hmm. It's insane. He's a robot.
But then it's a team of it's Chelsea, man. Usually you think of them with.
But I mean, how many games this season have they not scored? Like most of them. So
Chelsea, they have 29 goals for in the Premier League. How many does Erling Haaland have?
In the Premier League, I think he's got, is it 32 now? Yeah. So
Chelsea should have gone for Erling Haaland, apparently.
Should have. At that point in time, it might have been an interesting proposition for him, but now he's just like, you're beneath me.
They are.
All right. English Premier League.
10 places.
April 15th. I can't believe it's already the middle of April. Big game up first. Aston Villa, who are red hot against Newcastle United.
Ooh, this is going to be a good one, man.
Also in fine form. I think out of their last 5 games, Newcastle's got 15 points and Aston Villa's got 13.
Yeah, so their last 5, Newcastle's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And then Villa, they've drawn 1.
Yeah. So Villa now only, 9 points behind Newcastle United?
Yeah, so Newcastle's on 56 points and Villa's on 47.
That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. It shows you how good of a job Unai Emery has done at Aston Villa.
They do have a game in hand, Newcastle.
Yeah.
But still, a fantastic job for Villa.
How do you see
your guess? Who's gonna take this one home?
Okay. I guess I'll answer first. I have a sneaking suspicion that Aston Villa are doing really well in this game.
They're playing at home.
They are playing at home. I'm going to go 1-0 Aston Villa.
1-0. Oh man, I don't know who to pick for this one. This one's tough.
I was going to pick a draw, but I did that
I also want to take the easy way out and say draw.
Yeah. I've done that a lot lately, and I've still been wrong. So I'm going to go for a Villa win.
So I'm trying to remember the last couple games. Newcastle have been tearing it up, scoring goals. They're playing well. Villa have been playing pretty good, I would say. I just not quite up to Newcastle's level.
Yeah.
So that's why I think I want to say a draw, just because, again, it's at Villa's home stadium. They're at home. So
well, I hope Aston Villa get the result here because I believe their next game or 2 down the road is against Manchester City. So I need some favors from them.
Them and, yeah.
And everybody else. Next up, Chelsea against Brighton. You want to go with the news first or our predictions first?
Let's go with the news first.
All right, let me have it.
So the PGMOL has come out and apologized to Brighton after the shit show of refereeing against Spurs when Brighton played Spurs here last weekend. Yeah, Howard Webb had to come out. He's the boss of it all, whatever his position is.
I mean, he was a fantastic referee himself, so call him a boss, if you will.
Okay. But yeah, they had to come out and apologize again. Surprise, surprise. For the decisions made in that game.
Question for you, though. If Brighton miss out on Europe and Arsenal miss out on the title because of refereeing decisions, what happens? Like, what do you do? What does the Premier League do?
They'll do nothing. They'll apologize. They'll apologize.
And millions of pounds and a trophy. It's huge. Huge.
Oh, trust me. I've thought about that. Like, what if Arsenal lose out because of that point to Brentford or, you know, just all those kinds of decisions. I mean, teams could get relegated from some of these decisions or could
100%.
Make Europe or could miss out on Europe. But again, an apology is all they're going to get and say, sorry about your luck. Better luck next year.
It's unacceptable in my eyes, especially when it comes to VAR.
You can't award these teams points back. I mean,
no. I mean, it is what it is for the points, but I mean, do they do a complete overhaul of their referees? Do they change the system?
Be doing that anyway.
Do they go more to an automated system? Maybe that's a discussion for another time. Maybe we discuss that at the end of the season in case more things happen.
We'll have to pile up all of our mistakes they've made.
I'm sure ESPN will do it for us. It's been that bad.
Yeah, we'll be here 10 years later.
10 years later. Next up, Everton against Fulham.
So who you got winning that game? Chelsea versus Brighton.
I guess we got to pick that too, huh? I'm going to pick Brighton.
I'm going to pick Brighton too.
Yeah, Chelsea been terrible.
They're playing so good. Like, I don't know how Tottenham won that game. One from the refereeing, but also Brighton dominated that game.
Right? Yeah. Spurs got 2 chances in that game. They scored both of them.
Pretty much. And it took a wonder strike from Son.
Yeah. But we're used to that from him. So maybe not this season, but in previous seasons. Okay. Now, Fulham, Everton. Everton at home. Game at Goodison Park. Fulham are playing like garbage.
Dude, they're on a free fall.
Garbage. Yeah.
They are on a free fall.
Yeah, they're now level with points with Chelsea. That's how far they've fallen. They were in 5th at one point.
Yeah, ever since that League Cup game.
Yeah. Mitrovic is out pretty much the rest of the season.
I'm going to go with a draw on this one.
Yeah, I was going to go the draw as well.
Let me pick a different result then if you're picking draw. Then.
Because you can't pick what I pick because I'm bad luck. Nah, I'll go with a Fulham win. I said Everton get 1 point the rest of the season. I'll stick with my guns.
They've already gotten it.
Yeah, they already got it. Fulham win this game. Keep them ahead of Chelsea. Cool. Southampton against Crystal Palace. This one should be fun.
If you're a Crystal
Mary's
Palace fan, because I think they're going to win.
Mm-hmm. Roy Hodgson Revolution, baby. 3 out of 3.
Do you think, though, these games, Patrick Vieira would have won them?
Oh, yeah. I do. But can't do anything about it now.
No, Roy's doing a good job. He brought Abriche Eze kind of back into the picture. I'm guessing there was some kind of fallout between Eze and Vieira.
And Patrick Vieira is having the time of his life in Barbados. So I think
Is that where he's at?
everybody-
Are you like follow him on Instagram or something?
No, there's news or it showed him on like a floaty jumping off. Apparently got a new tattoo. I don't know, but
Well, there you go. Get fired. Go to
it was in the
Barbados.
news, so apparently there wasn't much else to cover. Next up, Tottenham Hotspur against Bournemouth. This smells to me like the type of game that Bournemouth would surprise Tottenham.
You think so, huh?
Smells like it.
It's in
However-
it's at London Stadium.
Yeah, it's at Tottenham Stadium. Who do you think's going to win?
Tottenham.
I'll go the draw.
Well, don't get me wrong. Bournemouth have been doing really well here lately and have exceeded my expectations. But it seems like they win, lose,
going
lose,
more
win.
for Tottenham are on a free fall right now, getting lucky wins or losing or drawing. So,
I mean, their last one was a lucky win, and they had a couple draws there. But you know, I told you them at their home stadium is pretty almost like a different team.
yeah. Well, I'm gonna go to the draw. I just think I don't know.
That'd be a
Something in my gut.
fantastic result for Bournemouth. If they could
It
get a
would be.
draw.
It would be. Next up, Wolves against Brentford. Brentford away from home are not very good. Wolves at home, pretty good.
Yeah, they just beat Chelsea.
Yeah. I mean, so is everybody else, though.
That's true. But that's not all true. Chelsea have 10 wins. They beat 10 teams, half the league.
Most of those at home, though.
I am gonna go with a draw on this one as well, man.
It's hard
Yeah.
to pick a winner out of this one. It
is.
Surprisingly enough.
Wolves played well against Chelsea. Their defense has been a little bit better. I worry about them going forward. And then Brentford, it's kind of the opposite. I think they're pretty good going forward, but
Not great
So I don't
on
know.
defense.
we'll see. What's your pick?
I'm going to pick Brentford win. I think David Raya has another spectacular game. Keeps Brentford in it. They win by a goal.
I tell you, I want Wolves to win it. That's what I'll be rooting for, I guess, if that has any consolation, just because I want them to be completely
it is a consolation. You don't hear that very often, so. Except for last week, I guess, when they played Chelsea.
and you said they would win.
Mm-hmm. Manchester City against Leicester City. The juggernaut against a team is apparently on a perennial free fall at the bottom of the table.
Dude, they are on a free fall, but they got a new manager, so will we see a new manager bounce?
I hope so.
That's kind of how I feel too.
Right?
I hope so, but
This is
probably
Manchester
not.
City's last Premier League game for 2 weeks.
How they
They're
got a
playing the
Champions
FA
League
Cup
game in
next
there?
weekend.
They're gonna go to Germany.
Yeah. Go to Germany, play Sheffield United in the FA Cup. And then I believe they play somebody else. I think it's Aston Villa and then Arsenal midweek. So,
Well, they also have to play Brighton at the Amex.
yeah.
That's their game to be made up. Yeah, I gotta go with Man City, man.
Yeah. I'm gonna I want
hard,
to,
right?
I want to say a draw, but there's no way in hell I see that happening. I'm a
Your
big
heart
man.
wants you to say draw, but
Yeah.
your brain's like you can't say
I
it.
mean, my heart says Leicester City to win it. I hope, but Manchester City are too good right now.
Too good, man. Like honestly, like even their bench, like Julian Alvarez.
Yeah,
I bet you he walks almost into every other team.
Yeah, I would say everybody in the league, barring maybe
Arsenal. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah,
I mean,
maybe.
also below him, yeah, they could use Julian
Yeah.
Alvarez.
Yeah,
Man United, yeah.
maybe
Maybe
not Tottenham.
Yeah.
Mm. He'd certainly have a spot above Richarlison. Tell you that. So, good
He's
point.
so good though, Julian Alvarez, man.
Oh, yeah.
I almost want to see him go to a different team to get him so I can watch him more, so he can get more
Right?
playing time.
Well, I mean, no one's starting over Erling Haaland. I'm sorry. It's not happening.
No.
Or the form of Jack Grealish. No one's starting over him on that team either. So,
but we'll see if newly appointed manager Dean Smith can do something for Leicester. He's there till the end of the season. He was previously at Norwich, had spells at Aston Villa, Brentford. So we'll see what he can do.
Yeah, I hope he keeps him up. I really do.
Yeah, so do I.
I don't see it happening, but
oh man,
the talent is there. The talent is there. On the 16th, we start off West Ham against Arsenal at London Stadium.
Yeah, Arsenal.
Yeah. Every time Arsenal have dropped points, they've picked up 3 immediately after. Arsenal for the win on this one. Nottingham Forest at home against exhausted Manchester United. 3 days, not 7, 3 days after they played in the Europa League. I think Forest have been looking decent lately.
No, they haven't. They have 0 wins out of the last 5 games.
Okay, fine. Brendan Johnson's looked good lately.
He does. Of course, it helps I got Keylor Navas back there.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I got to go Manchester United, man.
I do, too, even if Marcus Rashford doesn't play. Yeah. Well, that's it for England. Let's head over to La Liga. What we got, Targo?
La Liga, on April 15th, man, we got Villarreal against Real Valladolid. So, as you know, Villarreal coming off a big win against Real Madrid.
Huge win. They're flying right now.
Yeah, dude, they are. They're in great form in La Liga. 4 wins out of their last 5 games. They're in 5th place. Real Valladolid, man, they're in 17th place, hovering above that relegation zone. I'm going with Villarreal on this one.
One way only, my friend. Especially at home. Villarreal on this one.
Yeah. And then also on the April 15th, we have Athletic Club against Real Sociedad. Real Sociedad, they're in 4th place. Athletic Club, they're in 7th. So they're 11 points behind Sociedad. So who you got for this one?
Sociedad haven't been playing very hot lately. Athletic Club, I think they'll surprise some people. I'm going to go with a draw.
That's what I was going to say, damn it. I'll go with a Sociedad win. How about that?
All right, that's fine.
I'll be different.
All right. Be different.
I'm different. On the 15th, we have Cadiz against Real Madrid. Real Madrid coming off a big win against Chelsea. They're in 2nd place, pretty much giving up on La Liga title, but man, they still need to maintain that 2nd place because Atletico Madrid are just a couple points behind them.
Yeah, and especially with the form of Atletico, they very well could catch them. However, in this one, I'm going one way and one way only. Real Madrid for the win.
Yeah, I got to agree with you. Cadiz, they're towards the bottom. They're in 14th place on 31 points. So a good 28 points behind Real Madrid.
Yeah. Surprised it's only 28.
Right. On April 16th, we have Getafe against Barcelona. Barcelona, man, 1st place, flying high in La Liga.
And they just come off a draw against Girona?
They did come off a draw, but they're 13 points ahead of Real Madrid.
Yeah, Barcelona for the win in this one.
Yeah, Getafe, where are they at in the table? They're in 15th.
On 30 points, yeah.
So there you go, 42 points. Barcelona ahead of them.
That sounds a bit better. Yeah, I know Barcelona winning this one. They're not too far off from clinching the league, so.
I'm guessing it'll be pretty soon here.
Yeah.
Next few games. And then after Barcelona, we have Atletico Madrid against Almeria. Atletico, as I mentioned, are in 3rd, just a couple points behind Real Madrid. Almeria, they're in 16th on 30 points. Atletico, man.
Yeah.
How do you...
No.
Atletico are perfect in their last 5 games. 5 wins.
Yep.
I don't see that stopping.
I'm going to go with another Antoine Griezmann goal, and Atletico Madrid win this game.
A 1-0, huh?
No. I think it's more than that, but Griezmann gets one.
I'll say Griezmann gets an assist.
Okay. Goal contribution. Either way.
There you go.
All right, over to the Bundesliga on the 15th. We kicked the weekend off with Bayern Munich against Hoffenheim. Hoffenheim going to feel the scorn of Bayern Munich getting their butts kicked in Champions League.
Maybe. I mean,
Hoffenheim are in 14th place.
Yeah, if they were a little bit higher.
Points.
I know I've watched them play, though, and they actually haven't played terrible against some of these. Like when I watched them play Borussia Dortmund. But I still got to go with Bayern Munich.
Yep. I think they steamroll them. I think this is a frustration game. Take it all out on Hoffenheim.
Curious to see, though, what happens with Sadio Mane.
I'm going to go with he doesn't start the game. Maybe he's not on the bench. We'll see.
Yeah.
Next up, RB Leipzig against Augsburg. Augsburg sitting in 13th place. RB Leipzig sitting in 4th. Only 1 point ahead of Freiburg, and
dude, they need to win.
5 points ahead of Bayer Leverkusen. The way Bayer Leverkusen has been playing, they have to win this game.
They need to win Leipzig for sure.
Yeah. I think they do. They've been dropping points lately.
They have been dropping points and not been scoring very many goals.
Yeah, I think that they win this one. I don't think it's convincingly though.
I agree. I think they do win, but it's maybe a 1-0.
Yeah. Speaking of convincing victories, next up we have Stuttgart against Borussia Dortmund. Stuttgart in 16th place. Borussia Dortmund in 2nd, needing a win to keep up with Bayern Munich. How do you see it going? One way and one way only. Yeah. Borussia Dortmund for the win in this one.
Yeah, Stuttgart, they were bottom of the table till they got a win last weekend.
Yeah. I don't see them getting a win here. That's for sure. On the 16th, we got Wolfsburg against Bayer Leverkusen.
Wolfsburg should be a good one, man. Wolfsburg ninth.
Yeah. The Bayer Leverkusen are on fire. And playing
hottest team
well
in the Bundesliga, so I'm going to stick with them.
All right. I am too. They're just so good right now.
I thought you would have gone for a draw.
No. I love the way that Bayer Leverkusen are playing right now. They're fun to watch. All right.
I know I was actually watching their last game while I was trying to grill some carne asada, man. And I kept
almost burned it?
myself.
Well done.
Just about. I was like, oh, crap, gotta go check the grill.
It's smoking. More than normal. All right. Next up, Serie A. On the 14th, we have Spezia against Lazio. Lazio are on fire right now. Sorry ball doing its thing. See any hope for Spezia?
Negative.
Yeah, they're sitting in 17th place. 26 points. Lazio on fire.
Coming
now
off
have
a
a
big
5-point
win.
cushion on AS Roma, who's in 3rd.
Yeah, they're coming off a big win against Juve.
Yeah, I agree. Lazio for the win. On the 15th, we got Bologna against AC Milan. As we said before, AC Milan coming off a big win against Napoli in the Champions League. But Bologna is no slouch. They're in 8th place, sitting on 43 points. I mean, they're only 9 points behind AC Milan, who are sitting in 4th on 52.
So they're no slouch, but Milan really need to start winning games in Serie A. It's fantastic they beat Napoli in the Champions League. But in Serie A, they're just 1 point above Inter. So they need to win.
Badly. I do think they get it here, though. How about you?
I'm going to say a draw.
Okay. The draw train rolls along.
It does. Yeah, I'm tired of saying that. Maybe we'll start picking teams.
Well, I got an easy one for you next. We got Napoli against Hellas Verona. Napoli, man, they need a win.
They won their last game.
But they need a win after losing to AC Milan for the second time in a matter of weeks.
They need to get back on that goal train.
Yeah. Hellas Verona is in 18th place, 22 points. Napoli, first place.
Maybe
74.
the perfect game to play after that loss. Kind of.
Yeah. I think you could have asked for better. I mean, the only team you could have asked to face.
Cremonese, maybe?
Or Sampdoria. Yeah, one of those two. Yeah. Who you got? Yeah. Okay.
Duh.
Napoli. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And hopefully, quite a few players score, get some confidence up for everybody else besides Victor Osimhen. Next up, Inter Milan against Monza. Who you got?
Dude, Inter in such terrible form in Serie A. But they are coming off a big win against Benfica. I think they keep it going with another win here against Monza.
I'm going to go with my telltale. If Lukaku starts, a draw. If he doesn't, Inter win this one.
So you're hoping, and if you're an Inter fan, you're hoping Dzeko starts.
Or Lautaro Martinez up front. Either one. Anything's better than Lukaku right now.
Well, both of them have been starting, Dzeko and Lautaro Martinez.
Yeah. But if Lukaku starts, man, he just gets worse as the game goes on. So off the bench, he seems to be a very good impact sub. I'd like to see it again. On the 16th, we got Sassuolo against Juve. Juve need a win to keep those top four hopes alive.
Yeah, but Sassuolo are no slouches, man.
I know.
I'm pretty sure last time out, Sassuolo beat them.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not mistaken.
I believe so.
I very well could be, but...
And Sassuolo's at home in this one.
I said I wasn't going to pick any more draws, so... I'll go with the Sassuolo win.
Oh, okay.
I think Juve will be flying high after beating Sporting, and then Sassuolo will bring them back down to earth.
I think...
Beat one team in green and lose to the next team in green.
Yeah, fair. It's that green and black, you know. You do love it. I'm going to go Juve win in this one.
Yeah, I knew you would.
Yeah, I think that they come off a hard-fought battle against Sporting, possibly lose that game, and they need a win. So...
Nah.
Next up, win in Rome, AS Roma at home against Udinese.
I'll go with Roma.
Okay. Udinese sitting 10th. No slouches, but Roma are playing very well right now.
In third, won their last couple games.
I'm going to go a draw.
I would have said, I told myself I wouldn't pick any more draws.
I did it for you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Switching gears, we are going to discuss one of the most interesting topics I've heard in a while. The best player not to play for the Big Six in the Premier League. Surprisingly enough, there's a lot to choose from.
Yeah, I was making my list, and I still don't know who I'm going to pick.
Yeah, me neither. Well, let's start with the players on our list. And hopefully that discussion will help us narrow it down, shall we?
And there are some players on your list that I would have put on mine, but since you have them, I did not put them on mine.
Since you don't know who I'm going to pick, and I don't know who you're going to pick, let's just name all off and see who we pick at the end of it. How about that?
Sounds good.
All right.
We can even pick off each other's lists if we want.
Perfect. I'll have you start, my friend.
All right, man. So the first one that honestly came to mind when I was thinking about this was Wilfried Zaha.
Yeah.
Plays for Crystal Palace.
Don't know how he still plays for Crystal Palace, but...
Well, he was at Manchester United, and then he didn't cut it there.
Well.
Yeah. I went to Crystal Palace, and it seems like he's been there for, forever.
Yeah. Before Manchester United and after. It pretty much seems like his whole career at this point.
So I think he's a fantastic player. And then the other one that came to my mind... World Cup winner, man, Emi Martinez. Hard not to think about him.
Mm-hmm.
Not many players have won a World Cup, so.
No, and especially not players that are on, what we call the big teams.
Yeah. And then another player that came to mind, he's on loan at one of these other teams, but he was the starting goalkeeper for 3 Champions Leagues. Won 3 Champions Leagues. That is Keylor Navas.
Yeah, all 3 for Real Madrid, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he was the starting goalkeeper.
PSG didn't win any, so. Yeah, I mean, he's been impressive for as long as I can tell. I mean, him and Costa Rica had the U.S. not qualifying for the World Cup at one point. Yeah, he's got a great CV.
And then those would probably be my top 3. And then some honorable mentions would probably be Jordan Pickford, starting goalkeeper for England. And then I'm a big fan of Matheus Nunes, midfielder who plays for Wolves, the Portuguese. Yeah. I don't think he'll be at Wolves much longer.
They just bought him.
So. They did, but I think a bigger team. I mean, he's already been linked with Liverpool.
Fair.
So I think a bigger team comes and swoops him up.
Okay. Nobody else comes to mind then, huh?
Not that I want to mention, because I know you'll probably mention them.
Okay. I see one on your list that I'm not going to mention, but.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if he's the best. Maybe after another season, if he keeps it up, his performances, I would say. But Matoma, man, how can you not love Matoma?
Yeah, I just wanted you to say it because I love watching him play. He's fantastic, and he's one of the best up-and-coming talents in the Premier League.
He's Heung-min Son 2 years ago.
Yeah, and with, in my opinion, probably the potential to be better.
Potentially, yeah. You're not wrong. Arguably.
All right. My list, I know I stole a lot from you, so I'll go through it and we'll decide after.
I'll tip my hat to a few of them. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to start with a former Spurs and Atletico Madrid player, now plays for Newcastle, Kieran Trippier.
He would have been one on my list, yeah.
Yeah. I hate to say it. I do, because, former Spurs player, but every player that leaves Spurs seems to get better after leaving Spurs.
Imagine what Harry Kane could do.
Cue Luka Modric. Next up, playing for a relegation-threatened team and probably going down, James Maddison. If he could just stay healthy, man, what a talent he would be, and he still is.
He is a huge talent. He went to England with the World Cup, didn't even play, maybe came on as a sub.
Maybe, yeah.
But it hits his health, man. The guy's always injured.
Yeah.
I think if he wasn't injured, he'd be a lot better. I don't know about better, but he'd be more known.
And consistent, that's for
sure.
Next up, fresh off a kick around with the boys, Ivan Toney, the banter master himself.
I love me some Ivan Toney, man, yeah.
How he's still at a team like Brentford, I will never know. In my opinion, after Harry Kane, he's the best striker England has.
Oh, bro, I don't know how Chelsea don't go for him. Solve their striker issues right there, Ivan Toney.
And it cost a heck of a lot less than some of the other players they bought.
Yeah. And wouldn't cost as much as a Victor Osimhen or someone like that.
Definitely not. Maybe a quarter. Depending on what he goes for. So speaking of World Cup winners, I'm going to go with another Argentine. Alexis McAllister, man. It seems like he's fresh on the scene, but man, has he been tearing it up for Brighton.
Yeah, he did really burst out this year. I do remember at Brighton last year. But I feel like this year, I think his confidence has gone up quite a bit, and so you're starting to see it in his play.
He's one of the better players in the World Cup as well, especially for center midfielders. Next up, I'm going to go back-to-back after this one.
Okay.
West Ham players.
Relegation threatened West Ham, huh?
First up, Jared Bowen. I've been doing it for a couple of seasons now, man. When he's on the pitch, I feel like for West Ham, he's like a one-man wrecking crew.
He is. I'd love to see him leave and go to a bigger team, man.
I would too. A lot of these players, man, I know they have, they love their clubs, but you got to go to the right team obviously. But
honestly, if we hadn't signed Leandro Trossard, Arsenal, I would have thought Jerry Bowen would have been a good fit at Arsenal.
I agree. But Trossard, we'll get to that later in a different episode, maybe at the end of the season, about how much I love Leandro Trossard and the way he plays. Next up, probably, some might say next to Jude Bellingham, the best central midfielder for the English national team. Declan Rice, man.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Calvin Phillips. Darn.
If there's a cheeseburger attached to that question, maybe. The only player to come back from the World Cup overweight. In a country that doesn't allow drinking. So, it was all food. Yeah. Declan Rice. I mean, he's been a little disappointing at times this season.
He's underperformed this year, for sure, yeah.
I think a lot of that has to do with the players around him and how they're performing at West Ham. I mean, teams like Liverpool and Arsenal. I mean, he's been linked with Arsenal,
Chelsea, yeah.
As far as Declan Rice goes, the rumors that he's been linked to Arsenal, he's got rumblings of the same timing that Gabriel Jesus was. So I think that one will probably happen. But man, what a player he is.
All right, so are you going to have a number one?
No, not yet, but I have one more player.
Okay.
I know I'm taking forever. One more player, and he tore up Arsenal last year. Bruno Guimaraes. Man, in my opinion, the best player on the Newcastle squad, and Newcastle are ahead of most of the big six this season.
You think he's the best player on Newcastle? Because I'm pretty sure when we did the best players on every team, you did not pick him.
I know. I did not.
I think you said who? Nick Pope?
Mm-hmm. I did.
Who did I say?
Bruno Guimaraes. Yes. I understand this.
Okay, now you're seeing things the right way.
Arguably. Anyways, Targo, come on, hit me with your best shot. Who's the best player not to play for the Big Six? You got all those players. Who you picking?
A few years ago, I would have said Keylor Navas, but I'm going Wilfried Zaha.
Okay.
Wilfried Zaha, best player not to play for the top six.
At times, he's so good. So good.
He single-handedly beat Liverpool at Anfield.
Yeah. Defensively, not so much. Sometimes
he's not a defensive
Crystal
player,
Palace, but this is best player overall, not best player, offensive player to play defense. So I am going to go with Mr. Declan Rice.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. Apart from this season, one of the best players in England, including the Big Six.
Thought you would have said Kieran Trippier, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, thought about it. I was thought about Bruno, but I didn't want to see your face if I picked Bruno. So just the I told you so written all over your face. So Declan Rice for me. But who do you guys think? Let us know.
Yeah, best player not in the top six. There's a lot of them, so this was tough.
So many.
Again, we probably could have on a different day picked someone different.
Yeah, depending on our moods, 100%.
But that was a fun one. I like our lists that we do here.
Yeah.
Let's think of something for next week. If there's anything you guys want to hear, let us know in the Facebook group.
Please.
Send a message,
Always up for ideas.
Or maybe on the Instagram or TikToks. We're always posting on there.
Or YouTube.
Don't forget the YouTube. And, of course, why don't you show them some more of those stickers again, man. Make sure you check out the merch on Redbubble. You can get some of those stickers. I love that Ronaldo one.
I do.
R9 Ronaldo.
I love this one, the Brews and Banter.
I now know what that means because I watched Ted Lasso.
Yes. And then we got our Football is Life one for all you Danny Rojas fans out there.
Football is life.
Football is life.
All right. Well, we love you guys. Thank you so much for listening.
Danny Rojas.
As always.
As always.
Cheers.